The human who changed her entire world. Zara pressed her blue-scaled fingers against the cold metal bars of her cell. The prison ship rocked gently as it moved through space toward the mining colonies. She had been here for 3 cycles now, ever since the rebellion on her home world failed. Her people, the Cathara, had tried to fight against the Galactic Empire. They lost. Now she was being sent to work in the dangerous crystal mines until she died. Most prisoners lasted only 2 years in those terrible places. The heavy door at the end of the corridor opened with a loud bang. Guards in black armor pushed a new prisoner into the cell across from hers. Zara looked up and froze. It was a human. She had heard stories about humans but never seen one before. They were supposed to be weak and soft. This one did not look weak at all. The human was tall with brown hair and green eyes that seemed to see everything. Her name tag read Murphy L. Lisa Murphy, the human said, noticing Zara staring at the tag. And you are. Zara hesitated. Talking to other prisoners was not forbidden, but it was not wise either. Still, something about this human made her curious. I am Zara of the Blue Mountain Clan, she replied in her careful English. You are the first human I have seen. Lisa sat down on her metal bench and smiled. It was a strange expression that showed her white teeth. Zara had heard that humans showed their teeth when they were happy. Not angry like most other species. Well, I am the first human to be stupid enough to get caught stealing from an Imperial supply depot, Lisa said with a laugh. What did you do? I fought for my people's freedom, Zara said simply. Lisa's smile faded and her eyes grew serious. A rebel. I respect that. How long do you have? Life sentence? Mining colonies. Same here, Lisa said, though I hear humans do not last long in those places. Over the next several days, Lisa and Zara talked through the bars. Zara learned that humans were not the weak species she had been told about. Lisa had been a soldier before she became a thief. She told stories of human wars and how her people never gave up, no matter how bad things became. Humans have a saying, Lisa said one evening as the ship's lights dimmed. It is not the size of the dog in the fight. It is the size of the fight in the dog. I do not understand, Zara replied. It means that being brave and determined matters more than being big or strong. Zara thought about this. Her people were much larger and stronger than humans, but they had still lost their war for freedom. On the 7th day, alarms began screaming throughout the ship. Red lights flashed and the guards ran past their cells toward the front of the vessel. Through the small windows, Zara could see explosions lighting up space around them. Pirates, Lisa said calmly. They attack prison ships sometimes to steal the prisoners and sell them as slaves. The ship shook violently as something hit it. Zara was thrown against the wall of her cell. When she looked up, she saw that Lisa's cell door had been damaged in the impact. The lock was sparking and broken. Lisa pushed on the door and it swung open. Your turn, Lisa said, examining Zara's cell lock. She pulled 2 thin metal pieces from her hair and began working on the mechanism. After a few moments, Zara's door also opened. How did you do that? Zara asked in amazement. Humans learn many useful skills when we are trying to survive, Lisa replied. Come on, we need to find weapons and a way off this ship before the pirates board us. They moved carefully through the corridors. The guards had abandoned this section of the ship to defend against the pirate attack. Lisa seemed to know exactly where she was going. She led Zara to an emergency supply room and began gathering equipment. Put this on, Lisa said, handing Zara a breathing mask and emergency suit. We might need to go outside. Outside? Zara's voice was high with fear. Into space. Trust me, Lisa said, her green eyes steady and calm. I have a plan. They made their way to the ship's docking bay. Through the large windows, they could see the pirate vessel attached to their ship like a parasite. Armed pirates in red and black armor were cutting through the airlock doors. Lisa activated a control panel, and one of the prison ship's small escape pods began powering up. But before they could reach it, the pirates broke through the doors behind them. Stop right there, the pirate leader shouted in the common galactic language. He was a Vorthon, one of the reptilian species known for their cruelty. You two will bring good prices in the slave markets. More pirates spread out around them, weapons raised. Zara felt her heart sink. They had come so close to freedom, but Lisa stepped forward calmly. I am Human Defense Force Lieutenant Lisa Murphy, she said in a voice that carried clearly across the docking bay. I invoke the right of single combat under galactic maritime law. The pirates looked confused. The Vorthon leader hissed with what might have been laughter. You want to fight me, little human, he asked. I am twice your size. I challenge any member of your crew to single combat for our freedom, Lisa replied. If your champion wins, we surrender without resistance. If I win, you let us go free. Zara whispered urgently. Lisa, this is madness. He will kill you. But Lisa just winked at her. Remember what I said about the size of the fight and the dog? The pirate leader considered for a moment. Then he nodded. Very well. I accept your challenge. When I kill you quickly, your friend will be more cooperative. The other pirates formed a circle. The Vorthan leader was indeed twice Lisa's size, with sharp claws and thick armored skin. He carried a curved blade that gleamed in the docking bay lights. Lisa had only a short metal rod she had taken from the supply room. The fight began. The Vorthan attacked first, his blade slicing through the air where Lisa had been standing a moment before. But the human was no longer there. She had rolled to the side and struck his knee with her metal rod. The pirate stumbled but did not fall. He spun around and swung his blade in a wide arc. Lisa ducked under it and hit him in the ribs. This time she heard something crack. The Vorthan roared in anger and pain. He was stronger and had better weapons, but Lisa was faster and smarter. She never stayed in one place long enough for him to hit her, but her own attacks were adding up. Zara watched in amazement as the small human fought the much larger pirate. Every movement Lisa made seemed perfectly planned. She never wasted energy or took unnecessary risks. After several minutes, the Vorthan was breathing heavily and bleeding from multiple wounds. Lisa looked as if she could fight for hours more. Impossible, one of the other pirates whispered. How is she doing this? Finally, Lisa saw her opening. The Vorthan overextended himself with a powerful downward strike. Lisa stepped aside and brought her metal rod down on his wrist. The blade clattered to the floor as he screamed in pain. Before he could recover, Lisa swept his legs and sent him crashing to the deck. She placed her metal rod against his throat. Yield, she said simply. The Vorthan leader looked up at her with hatred in his yellow eyes. But he nodded. I yield. The other pirates stared in shock as Lisa helped their leader to his feet. According to the ancient laws of single combat, they had to honor the agreement. You fought well, the Vorthan said grudgingly. I have never seen a human fight like that before. Most humans fight like that when we have to, Lisa replied. We just prefer not to have to. The pirates allowed Lisa and Zara to take the escape pod. As they flew away from both the prison ship and the pirate vessel, Zara finally found her voice. How did you learn to fight like that, she asked. All humans learn to fight when we need to, Lisa said as she piloted the small craft. My species has been fighting for survival for thousands of years. We have learned that being small does not mean being helpless. Where are we going now? Lisa smiled, that tooth-showing human smile again. I know of a place where rebels and outcasts can find safe haven. There are others there who fight against the Empire in their own ways. 3 weeks later, their escape pod landed on a small planet in an uncharted system. It was a beautiful world with purple skies and silver forests. But more importantly, it was home to beings from dozens of different species who had all chosen to resist the Empire. Lisa introduced Zara to the community leaders. There was Ming, a human woman who had been an Imperial engineer before she stole the plans for their new battleships. There was also Beth, another human who had led successful raids on Imperial supply lines. We have been waiting for someone like you, Ming told Zara. Your people's knowledge of crystal technology could help us build better weapons to fight the Empire. Zara looked around at the rebel base. These beings had not given up hope even after losing everything. They continued to fight in their own ways, striking back at the Empire whenever they could. I thought my war was over when my planet fell, Zara said. But perhaps it is just beginning. Lisa put a hand on her shoulder. That is another thing about humans. We believe that no war is really over until freedom wins. Over the months that followed, Zara worked with the human engineers to develop new technologies. Her knowledge of crystal energy combined with human ingenuity created weapons and shields that were far superior to anything the Empire had. But more than that, she learned about human determination. Even when missions failed or when friends were lost, the humans never stopped planning the next operation. They never gave up hope that someday the galaxy would be free.